Yeah, and I will share once it's finished. Yeah, so first of all, I'd like to thank you so much. What's Rav short for?
Yeah, Ravon.
Ravaun, thanks so much for taking the time out, your busy schedule to interview with me. And because it's been amazing how what we've been doing as a project management students campaigning for off the streets. I think it's an amazing initiative that you guys are doing. And I can speak on behalf of my team, my group. We've really enjoyed volunteering for you guys, and it's been insightful. We've learned so much, and something that will take of us after we finish our degree, master's degree, as well. Um, I'd love to start at the beginning of the streets and how you guys really started. What was the
Uh,
inspiration? What started it? What was the inspiration? Uh,
okay. Well, what what made us started off the streets was in 2021 August. Um, it's coming quite close in terms of the anniversary date now, when we first started. And part of the reason was why we started was a young lad got stabbed multiple times and died within our area that we live.
mm,
Um, so it broke our heart, you know. As part of the community, we thought as these young youths dying from knives and such. So we, as part of the community, need to work together on reducing knife crime and bad activities within our community.
mhm, mhm. That that's good, yeah. And that's inspirational stuff. So it's been 2 years, you saying? It's been 2 years
Yeah,
of the shoots has been
indeed. Yeah.
listed. Oh, amazing. Yeah, and what would you say is your USP? How do you stand out from other social enterprises? What's your ethos?
Well, our
Mm,
ethos is well, we're doers, we're go getters. We call ourselves the go getters, and the pure part of that is purely because what we see that the community requires or need, there is no barrier to us. No one's stopping us. That is part of the reason why we stick as a community interest company, because we don't want to be controlled or anything. We are the community, so we speak for the community. Um, and even though you've got the authorities, we work alongside the authorities. However, no one can shush us in terms of telling us that we can't share certain things or stand up for certain things. So that is definitely our aim and focus.
no, that's amazing. Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. Sounds inspirational, empowering. Sounds empowering.
Yeah.
And would you say being a founder of your of a social enterprise was one of your early aspirations, or has that changed over time?
Well, I've never been um, good. I've never always been good. I've been bad in the past. So I know what it's like, you know? So obviously, after having kids and getting married and such, everything's changed, you know? Um, things change after that. So it was like, oof, you need to basically help as much as you can in terms of trying making our community and surroundings safer for our future generations of children. So it's always been something there. However, it was just a tip of the edge when that young lad got stabbed to death. So yeah.
Mm, mm-hmm. Most definitely. Yeah, it's okay, that's amazing. That's really good. And now tell me about some of the challenges, early challenges you faced, when you first started out as a founder, as a co-founder
Well,
of Off the Streets.
yeah. So what happened is a lot of the challenges were we were being stopped for certain things. I can't really say much details,
Yeah.
um, because it may reflect back on certain organizations, etc. However, but there's been people higher who would have
Mm-hmm.
not like us to carry out the way that we carried out our actions in terms of making a stance against all this and standing up as a
Yeah.
community and having the backing of the community. Obviously, it's as much as it's great to have the backing of the community. Sometimes other organizations or groups could look on us and say, well, you've got sort of a control over the community. So in terms of things like it's very weary in terms of what we can and can't say to you, you know. So yeah, in terms of that's where we would be stopped in certain ways. But that did not stop us. We continued. No one can stop us. That's why we said there is no stopping us. As long as it's legal and it's right, we're going to do it. Yeah, doesn't matter what anyone say, we're going to do it.
That's amazing. Inspirational, inspirational. Yeah, go-getters. As you said, you guys are the go-getters. That's right. And so is you I think my next question is you've already answered because you said it's been informed by your own personal experiences and how it's kind of come full circle for you, I'm guessing.
100%.
Yeah.
100% a full circle, because it's like it used to be mixed up with certain groups and certain things that goes on and stuff, and then it's good to see that your life could turn around and you can be the other person on the other side, teaching others not to carry out in bad and negative ways, which may reflect back on your life. So yeah.
Most definitely. And Ravaun, I'm sure you've been inspired. I've been inspired. I'm inspired by you guys, what you've been doing. But who are your inspirations? Who inspired you? Who inspired?
What do you mean in terms of?
It could be like, it could be in the family. It could be.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not sure if you know about Marcus Garvey.
Yes, I've heard of Marcus.
Yeah, Marcus Garvey and Nelson Mandela. They're my inspiration.
Oh wow, it's powerful. Because they champion for
For their
things are bigger than themselves. They just change. They were change makers and
indeed,
agents of change.
Definitely.
Yeah. What about, have you got inspirations within the family, personal inspirations?
I'd like to think that I'm the one that inspires my family,
Yeah.
I don't really, not saying that my family, they don't make some reasonable good decisions in terms of helping me to make that step forward in terms of what I want to do. However, I don't really look at that as an inspiration. I think inspiration is very deeper than that. I think it's so deep, like it goes way back into history times, and so it's things like that in terms of things. But in terms of help and assist, yes, got multiple family members that would assist, very close friend members that would assist as well. And as I said earlier, from my own experience, so I sort of inspired myself in a way as well.
Wow. It's amazing. Yeah, amazing. And following on from that, what do you do? When you're not working, when you're not doing things that that like it's tasking or anything. What do you do in your spare time? What do you do when you're doing your other passions?
So obviously, well, I work in construction, so obviously that's my structured work. And then obviously we've got OTS, off the streets, and then which we carry out loads of activities and safety talks, critical obliques, etc. across the county. However, in my other bit of spare times, I love family time. I love spending time with family, bonding with my kids. I also love music. I've got a proper passion for music. I've got my own recording studio. I also love quad biking. I've got my own quad bike, so I go out riding whenever I just get in from work and feel bored. I just go riding.
Yeah.
I love going out for lobster. I love going out for lobster. So yeah.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Is lobster part of Jamaican culture? Do you guys eat lobster a lot?
Indeed, yes. However, well, we would if we could have afforded it, yes. However, when I had the of trying it out in Jamaica, it hit me. So from a young age, I was like, well, I've only had it like twice. So when I get to the UK, I'm gonna get rich and I'm gonna have multiple lobsters.
Yeah. I think I've tried lobster once. It's it's definitely it's unique. It's definitely a unique taste. Yeah, yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah,
A
that's
good answer.
good. Yeah. So what kind of music? You said you got a recording studio. What kind of music are you into? What kind of music do you
um,
focus on?
Obviously, okay. I don't want to sound old because I'm not old, um, but I do love the older generation of music purely because that to me was music.
Yeah,
So I love I love soulful music.
yeah,
Um, I love jazz. I love me a bit of jazz. Um, so yeah, see, I think I'm talking so old fashioned.
yeah,
I love a
yeah,
bit of hip hop, like when hip hop was really hip hop,
yeah.
you know. Um, Nowadays, in terms of what I listen to now, I listen to reggae, dancehall, and Afro beats.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah,
Yeah, I'm the same. I think I'm an old school soul. I like
yeah,
the soul music. I love the musicians from that time. Even though I didn't live through that time, I feel like that would have been the time I would have loved to, been there when the music was live and
yeah.
absolutely, yeah, like those, like a Stevie Wonder, those, yeah, so it's good. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. That's amazing. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years after, in terms of work, in terms of where maybe you've been living in another country or travel. You saying you love to travel a lot. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Where?
Well,
Yeah.
in 5 years, I will. It's not I see. I will
Hmm.
have 10 properties in 10 different countries,
Yeah.
which are going to be rented out. Um, I will um, definitely um, expand my company. Um, Off the streets will continue, um, and obviously there will be other leaders that will take charge in terms of things as the year grow. Because obviously, as you get older and older, you're going to branch off into things in terms of like I may want to go into studying something in life, um, where I'm like, okay, I won't really have much time to carry out all the work necessary with off the street sort of thing, for example. So we'll always ensure that we put someone that we think is reasonably good enough after we've done our due diligence and check their
Mm.
background, stuff like that, for them to carry out that um, and continue the legacy of off the streets. But yeah, in terms of things, yeah, that's where I see
Wow, that's ambitious. Ambitious. Ten. Oh, 10. I love the ambition. I love the drive. I love the. I love the vision. Love the vision.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Step by step.
It's going to happen because
Of
it's
course.
already started. I've already got
Yeah.
one in one country, so it's going to
Yeah.
start.
That's right.
You know?
Just have to
Yeah,
just keep on building. Keep on building.
indeed.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I think it's similar to the inspirational question, the inspiration, but this might be a very difficult question for you.
Mm.
Um, Even more so, which one person, if you could put down to one person, would you like to thank for where you are today, and why? A
It
compressed.
would be And the reason for that is because if it weren't for God, I wouldn't be here in the first place. I wouldn't have life. I wouldn't be able to breathe.
Mm,
So, God.
amazing. I love the answer, just short and sweet.
I have to, you know.
Because when I ask people, sometimes I ask people, because I also I do a bit of freelance media work. I'm undergrads in journalism. I ask people this question, they always struggle to struggle to pick
But
one. Just one. It's like,
I always find the people who struggle to answer something because they're thinking about it too deep. You need to just answer with whatever comes to your head because whatever comes to your head, that flashes across your head. So, in terms of things, that's what you were thinking at that time when that question was asked. So, why
mm,
be say it? Why do us as human care what other people think about us? We need to just say as we say, and that is it.
that's right. Yeah, intuition. Use our intuition more, right?
Indeed.
Yeah. And Ravaun, great answer. Great answer. Do you have any advice for those wanting to start their own social enterprise? They have hesitations, doubts of, oh, should we do this? Should we get started? And what would be the impact? What would you say to those guys?
I'd say continue believing in yourself and the team that you're working with. don't necessarily take well, replies and stuff like that, comments from other people who don't necessarily want to see you carry out a good thing or see you achieve your goals, because those are the people, which sometimes can be families and friends, very close people, who don't really want to see you be more successful than them in life. So if you keep that mentality that you will continue on that journey, and you will, because yes, you will continue on that journey with or without their help, because you are determined to ensure that your goals are achieved.
That's amazing. Great advice. Great advice. Great advice, Ravaun. Great advice. That's for you guys. You've heard it here. That's for you guys watching. Yeah. Just start, just get it going. Get it going. You have the ideas, just put it into action.
Definitely put it into action and just go at it. Don't stop. Just keep going, because what you need to understand, there will always be failure, but don't look at failure as if it's something to break you apart. Failure is good. Failure is supposed to happen, because then that will teach you that's not the way to go. You are going to find a way to go, and you will move forward. It's like if you do a lot of reading, which I do, the person who owns KFC, for example, started KFC. They tried many times for years. The time when he actually blown up was when he was in his 50s. You know, after multiple trying and trying and trying. So don't let anything, and don't let age limit you. Yeah. Age is just a number. You continue and you keep marching on and you keep doing you, because what you want in life is what you are. It's yours to take. The universe is a massive place, so work with it.
Most definitely, 100%. You've got it in a nutshell. It's great advice, Ravaun. Great advice. Great advice. Yeah, and finally, final question would be for you would be, if you had the opportunity to speak with your older self, what would you tell yourself and why? I always love asking this question because people have a varied answers. It's like, could you actually speak to your older self?
If I were to speak to my older self in terms of things, it's, are we classing myself as from this stage, as in from now, and speaking to an older self, or if I was younger and I was speaking to myself at this present moment?
That's a good one. You can do both, but I was more younger. If it's more your younger self, like when younger self speaking to younger self.
Okay, so for example, I would work it out. For example, at the age of 13, because I believe that's when I started to have problems and stuff. If I would see myself as now, from the age of 13, I would speak to, I say, look, this and this would happen. So maybe it's best if you take charge from now and start making changes from this age. And the reason for that, it's not that I wouldn't have experienced life to be able to talk about it in terms of things that I've done. It's just that I would have already been so advanced. It's as if I would have been seeing into the future to be able to see what I would have been or what I would have done over the years. So therefore, because I've already seen the outcome, I might as well just jump straight to the outcome and forget all those situations in the middle, you know? So yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, just for variety, how about you speak to your younger self from this, like from today, from the current self? What would you say? What would you say? Would be the answer be different? Would be a different?
What, speak to myself now? So in this stage that I'm now, I'm young and I'm speaking to an older self in like 10 years.
Yeah, what would it be completely different? We said completely different, or
there would really not really be that much. It would purely mean I would purely say to my older self, you make sure you carry out what you are determined to do and what you want to do. Yeah. Do not follow people. Don't live by other people, because some people live under other people's shadow. Do not do that. Don't live under other people's shadow, because you're not living your life. You're living another person's life. You're making that person happy, yes. But you could also make that person happy, which could technically destroy you mentally, because you're thinking you have to go out of your way and do all these things to make that person happy. That's not you living. You're living for someone else. Take yourself out of those situations, and live for you.
You're saying write your own story, own your own narrative.
Indeed.
This is it. Yeah,
Am
amazing.
I going too deep?
It's deep, but we need to go there. We need to go there. It's good. It's good. I loved it. Absolutely. Thanks so much for, on that note, thanks so much for your time. And thanks so much for the interview. It's been insightful. It's been insightful, inspirational, and all of that good stuff. It's yeah, I will share when it's I will share with you once it's edited and everything. I'll share this with you. And uh it's been, and I'll show the rest of my team, and I'll make sure to include a snippet in the presentation so that you can see, yeah, it's been really good. It's really good.
Your presentation is probably best to play the bit where
Yeah.
how to help them uplift themselves, sort of thing, you know?
Uh-huh.
Be determined. Do you. Like, don't let another person do you. Don't live on
Yeah.
other people's shadows, you know?
Yeah.
Those type of points would punch and ask questions, you know?
I played the last 2 minutes. It's almost like the ending, the last 2 minutes, pretty much the last part where it was just own your narrative, write your own story.
Indeed.
This is it. Yeah. Thanks so much. Yeah, thanks so much for the
And you guys are very inspiring, mate. It's good to see that while you guys are there, like you've took the time out to study and look into Off the Streets.
Yeah.
When we start and stuff like that. You guys are very, very inspiring and taking it on board to get to know about Off the Streets, sharing those and carrying out the work as well. Like, you guys have been a great inspiration to the community. You've helped in the community by carrying out such acts. So we from Off the Streets, and I speak on the behalf of Off the Streets and then community, that we appreciate all you guys help and your determination, your word, and everything that you guys do is very, very inspiring and empowering. So thank you very much for your time as well.
It's been a pleasure. Yeah, it's a absolute pleasure to help out. And I say you always learn something new when you're going through these things. And yeah, more power. I think more power to the social enterprise as well. More, as you said, this is yeah, absolutely amazing.
Yep.
We'll take a lot once we finish the degree masters. We'll take a lot. I'm sure, like my group mates as well. I definitely will take a lot of this from after once I finish as well. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So best.
All right. Well, thank you very.
Yeah. If you enjoy the rest of your day, and I know you got a few things to do.
No problem. Well, thank you, and said hi to everyone for me as well.
Yeah, thanks so much, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Have a blessed
Bye-bye.
weekend.